Hello everyone and welcome back to this funny channel. Today we are back in another tournament game, playing the SDL League 3. This is the Division 2. If you don't know how divisions work, there's basically four divisions based on skill level, player rank, win rates or whatever, and past performance in the leagues. And this is Division 2, basically guys that are kind of good but are not that good. I used to be Division 1 a year ago. Then I lost all my games, and how it works is that you drop in in your division, kind of like season football game or whatever, right? You drop into the league below, and so here I am in League 2, first game versus Scotch. How I wanted to play Urban Frontlines. This is the map I picked actually. I actually gave him the ability to have one more ban, but I also have the counter pick and they picked the map. So that was the bet I was willing to make on game one, and I did a little bit of research on my opponent here on what divisions he plays on tournaments, and it was all 79th, 8th infantry and shit like that. Basically shit that wants to play nice, slow build up, trade, blah blah. That he doesn't really like early aggression or playing airborne or infantry div. So I was like, I'm just gonna pick chemical or urban frontlines versus him. He banned chemical, so urban frontlines it was. And I was gonna pick Corpus de Centauri basically. Or maybe some other airborne division if he didn't ban. But if he didn't ban it, but he banned Corpus, he banned 82nd. So those are two of my infantry divisions that I actually kind of wanted to pick. And he also first picked Berliner Gruppierung. Very ballsy. I mean, Berlin Gruppierung is quote unquote kind of like a soft counter to airborne divisions. So he was like, well, this guy is just for sure gonna pick an airborne division. And I was like, wait, just second Panzer is just open, right? So I'm just gonna pick second Panzer, change of plan. This second Panzer is just insane on this map because it has a lot of cheap fire support and pretty decent high HP infantry to grind. Enough rambling about my thought process. I kind of wanted to counterpick my opponent, and I basically kind of got the counterpick. So let's just go with the deployment. I basically just drew a blob of one Marder, two Leo 1A1s, and an Nighthawk and a 20mm Zwilling like here. A Nighthawk was there basically at the start because I was expecting the L-39 bombers, like the HE bombers, I was expecting three of them at the start. I mean, the first tick basically after the deployment, that never really came. So yeah, whatever. Another Gepard here in case of a helo rush, and a 20mm Zwilling on this side. I conservatively deployed my Milan tools here and here. This isn't really any special spot. It was basically just building before so I can move it into this. The reason why I did this is he could helo rush me. He has MI8s and everything, and he could actually utilize the fact I don't have any forward deploy EA to kill my forward deploy units. So I was a bit conservative with them, deploying them in the town, and everything was gonna jump in between around the buildings and everything to delay it until my AA comes up. That was the idea. One Jägerführer here. Basically, I wanted to grind this here and wanted to contest middle and contest this point, and was going to use my fire support all around here to contest. And because my infantry is worse than his, it only has one MG, I was trying to boost it up with a leader. This leader is pretty good for 60 points, has 10 men, can grind itself, has the range, shouldn't be brought too close, basically a building or two behind your infantry is where you kind of want it to be placed, and one vet actually boosts your infantry pretty nicely. So that's what I was expecting. And on the left side, basically nothing from FS Jäger into this building to stop any bomb rush down this road, and a scimitar here basically to just watch over any sort of infiltration that you would try to come to this side, and the blob just moves here. That was the idea. His idea was to deploy pretty balanced. Okay, it was bugged. Deploy very balanced. A lot of NSVs and a lot of anti-tank guns and a lot of ATGMs are going all the way around here. As you see, I'm not contesting any of it. I guess he thought that I didn't wanna do the town grind and everything, and that I just wanted to play the open part. That was a mistake on his part. An anti-tank gun here, more shoots and Strala here, and NSVs. These NSVs have 1400 range, and I brought a lot of machine guns which have 1200 range, which is tragic for me because these ranges here are like 1400 between all these two buildings, like these high rises and everything. So that didn't help a lot. HMGs, by the way, have a not, I mean, medium machine guns have like not that worse DPS and especially suppression damage compared to NSVs, especially because they have higher accuracy. Even though they have double the damage, the lower accuracy, and I think they have slightly lower rate of fire. Yeah, basically make them not kill infantry as fast, in theory at least. And MGs are like 15 points, and these guys are 35. And as I said, he is bringing like some KDA shoots and then some infantry here, and I'm coming here with my blob and my early attack. So I'm just gonna, cause the game. Want to thank the generous channel joiners, which don't exist as well. So there is one L39 HE in the open. Maybe he had like 80 points spare. 60 points spare, where he didn't know like what he was gonna use them for. So he wanted to like, I don't know, just spend 60 points on something. I moved Milan 2 from here to here because I see there are no helicopters, move them up into positions, and then I see this L39, and I immediately start building out, moving out to the building because I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna drop. But never mind, he's just circling it around. And then he wants to drop it on this building, which has 1 MG, and the IHawk unloads and kills it in 1 hit. Very sad for him. Almost killed an NSV. F-word launcher in this building is interesting. I mean, it watches down the sightlines, this anti-tank gun as well. But let's look at this. He's pushing his Grenzer Flam and Wachschutz and Aufklärer forward right before, my blob arrives. So I'm just waiting a little bit, grinding him down. He's like taking his time to walk over, and FS are like doing okay damage, not anything amazing. Margers here have like a lot of gaps and that they can exploit. If you want to play this map, basically, if you want to play this map the grind way, you basically need to have a PhD in Warno sightlines. Not as one guy jokingly said, but not really. You just kind of move around. Like you just Q move your Marder 1 Milan, and it's gonna find a spot somewhere around here. Basically, that's kind of how you do it. Nothing happening on this side, as you can see. A lot of points spent on his side here. Well, he basically none. And it's a bunch of defensive units which he can't like use to push really. So as you can see, like MGs are barely in range to target this NSV. And you can see that even like Spags and everything provide pretty decent fire support. The reason why I started like 2 Leopards and instead of like a bunch of Marders was I was expecting like a lot of T-55s at the start, but that wasn't happening. So like first tick is literally a bunch of Marders because I'm missing a lot of fire support here, which is how you actually push this part of the map. And then I buy on M110. My opponent buys 2 D20s as well. Because this map turns into a slow grind pretty fast. He pings my ATGM because I move it out of the building because it's being harassed by everything else. As you can see, I think one of the Wachschutz and Aufklärer died here, and KD shoots and can't really, grind if they don't have a military police guy next to them. So I cap everything we are equal on cap. My Jägerführer finally arriving where it's supposed to be, and a bunch of Madres arrived right in time. He keeps like piling stuff around here, but neither of us can really just walk in with a CV. I mean, he can, but he's waiting for a mortar, so he doesn't get sniped by an ATGM or anything. which is smart. I buy an outlier here because I notice I literally don't see anything on the map, and he's like jumping 80 gems all the way around. All the way around these buildings, trying to harass my fire support. Thankfully, this gun misses my bad micro. And now that the martyrs are here, I'm pushing them up. There are two martyrs going a really weird way, another here. M110, starting, I see the pack gun thanks to my OPA, I think. I'll actually thanks to the Alfclair because it's just standing in the open. I don't think the 100mm is any good. I mean, what is this spot? The 100mm isn't good on this map. You don't really have a lot of places to place it, basically. So it dies in one hit. And the mother blob is, finding angles. SPW dies here. Mochutz and Metis dies, and the KD Schutzen are just being murdered. Moving up some supply, to get the damaged leopards and everything. And as you can see, the grind here is going great. These Panzer Grenadiers and FS Jägers are max sweat because they have the leader next to them. And I'm doing a pretty decent job of, applying pressure and at the same time, evacuating damaged units and healing them up. A bunch of pioneers are going up here, which is how I wanna, continue the grind. 2D20s purchased start working on these buildings. Thankfully, I moved most of my stuff outside of the outclearer, and like he sees the chance to push these buildings a little bit. I don't have much to stop him. Buys a lot of Motschutz and Metis, Wachschutz and T55s and everything. But it's a bunch of infantry also coming up here, and I decide to probe this plank as well. Plank. More Leopard 1s bought because I'm expecting to get his fire support. A bunch of SPWs being killed, and these 17 per 80 GMs don't one-shot my Marder 1E2 Milan, and the only 80 GM Harry Ricci basically trying to bomb his Mochutz and Strela. It works, but Mochutz and Strela before dying, hits a shot. Another L39 going for one Panzer Grenadier. Not a worth trade, even if it happens. Even if he drops the bombs, he just loses the bomber. Sad for him. The blob push here is continuing. Some Panzer Grenadiers are dying, but a lot of his infantry fire support is dying as well, and I just keep pushing up, literally right in his face, and there's not that much he can do. Another Harrier HE being dropped right in the middle here, basically kills a Wachschutzen, and a Wachschutzen RPA is left on 1 HP. This guy is out of RPG rounds, so very sad for him. These Mardivani tools are sitting back. I'm too zoomed in on that part here. He smokes his CV and he's on a +1, but I don't mind too much. You can let your opponent tick on +1 in a 30-something minute game, because I was like, I'm winning basically. I saw that he put an AT gun here, so I was aiming at it. Basically, he wanted to, I guess, put it here to stop my maneuver assets from basically pushing this flank, which is fine enough. A lot of his fire support is coming online. Kills the AT gun in one hit. Tragic for him. Morsus and Metis are just getting these flank shots, which are pretty painful for me. And as I said, this deck only has 17 pen 80 GMs and has like one card of Conquers. So I was like, I can bomb throughout the game one card of Conquers. So I'm just gonna bring Mother 1E2s. The reason why I bring Mother 1E2s instead of 1E3s is because these guys are 5 points cheaper. And in the end, if you wanna buy 3 Panzer Grenadiers in 1 minute, the 1E2s cost 255, and the 1E3s cost, 300. Not 300, 270. So this is just a consistent printer of 3 per minute. MW1, I split the pass basically, and this misses completely. I just split the salvo because you can do it. It's overkill usually to do one salvo on one row of infantry, unless it's all in the same buildings like this. So I usually just, I split it and then come back again and do another run. The downside of that plane is that it has a 6-minute reload time, but it kills a lot of infantry. I counter battery the D20. I can't talk, man. What the fuck is wrong with me? D20 because I saw that he's not moving it. These Leopard ones and everything basically just did a sweeping maneuver, and as Skiffitt likes to say, this is the offensive angle, an L shape, where you just absolutely flank him and destroy him and force him to defend in this little corner. As you can see, a lot of his infantry is damaged in this small corner. More Panzer, Pioneer, Carl Gustavs and everything. He tries to counter battery my M110, but I'm just constantly moving it. Panzer Mercer here, I'm like, I can just smoke in. Now that I've won the grind, the Jägerführer is keeps pushing up and buffing up the infantry. He tries to get another pack gun, but there's like I'm basically in his face and I'm gonna be able to kill him in the end. Nothing happening on this side. As I said, a lot of defensive assets on his side, and with which he can't really push. Really should have probed me here. I don't have much, and I wouldn't really be able to respond with it fast. But should have done before I basically got into this point and started ticking up. A bunch of Margers, Leopards doing all the fire support, a bunch of Pioneers and everything. This is really, really nice for him. All these buildings, he can just jump from one to the second one and then just keep shooting at all of my fire support. Harrier HE, one of them goes down, and then the other HE2 drops one bomb and then kamikazes into the cube. Tenoheka Banzai, I guess, or however it's pronounced. T-55s on his side trying to dislodge me from this flank, which I have to respect. This outlayer is in a bad spot, pushed a bit too deep. This is smoked in, literally chilling. This M110 I should have had a supplier ready for it, but I was a bit greedy with it, I guess. All of this infantry, all these Panzer Grenadiers and everything that was trying to push up, basically just dying to the SPWs and all the infantry hiding here that I don't see. Leopard 1 dies to the T-55, so T-55s are starting to clear me out, so I have to respect it and pull back, heal up my Margers and everything. Leopard 1 is coming up to continue the grind. I have the same amount of Leopard 1s as he has T-55, so that's very nice. Second Panzergrenadier is totally not a broken division. As Axis would say, it's strong but not overpowered, haha. So trades are starting to look a tiny bit bad for me now. This Morschutz and Mattis is the bane of my fucking existence, because I don't see him and for some reason he sees me. And this Fagot as well. Moving a bunch of MG teams because I was gonna set up a line here basically, so if he tried to move across the field, I was just gonna gun him with the MG3s. Really good unit for 50 points, I think I already explained it. And all my infantry is a tiny bit on low on health. I'm trying to pull some of them back to these supply trucks, but I don't have enough supply. This Mancat is going to the M110 because this thing needs to keep firing the whole game basically at every single ATGM it sees. He places ATGMs in these two buildings, which is pretty good, denies my ability to push up Leopards and everything else. So I have to smoke out and basically get out. Not much I can do. Wachschützen and T-55s are clearing me out of here. He kills a Leopard 1A5, pretty bad thing for me. I killed the Mi-8 helicopters with the Gepard. 2,800 meter range for 80 points. Great thing. Gets one more Schützenstrahler back into here. As you can see, training with MG teams, and I'm like, now that I've got this, he doesn't have a lot here, so I'm just gonna probe pushing here as well. M110 coming back online, reloading, more Marders, more Leopard 1s. Not too much. My opponent hasn't yet found an answer to them, and he keeps feeding into this here. which is pretty bad for him. These T-55s, honestly, even 180 GM could have really helped me here to just zone him off from doing that. I think I buy a Jagger to basically put it right here to just zone him off from ever using anything there again. More trades in the center. Not much he can do about it. Basically, nothing happening here. And my opponent is just playing the game I wanted the entire time. T-55 goes down. All of these guys just sweated up from the Jägerführer. Was worrying that he was gonna try and air spam me, but there was basically no air spam, so this just iHawk is basically just chilling, providing all the cover I need. More Marders, more infantry in it. Push this FS Jäger up kinda for no reason. These dies to the Conquerors and everything. He has a lot of 80 gems in his deck. Completely fair enough. These Leopard ones are in a really bad spot. He's fucking me up. I'm slipping a tiny bit. But I'm in such a good position, and the trades at the start were going so well for me that it's not that big of a deal that I'm slipping a little bit. As you can see, like, he doesn't have a lot here to punish me. For slipping, absolutely no action here. And I just pull back all of my damaged Leopards and Margers back, and I'm just waiting for supply. Should have moved these away from the M110, but what can I do? Another M110 up because I basically saw no pressure from any other side on the map, so I was like, you know what, get another one, start clearing these 80 gems. Thought there was an 80 gem here, but there wasn't. This MT12, I guess, is defending this angle here. I'm not sure. It's not going to kill the F-Flare because it's too far away. Needs to come closer, but I wanted to, you know, start dishing out damage instantly. Leopard Vans, more Marders. This is... he's pushing me out of here, though, with the fire support and him denying me my fire support. This mortar killed the KD Schutzen, so that was pretty nice. Because I know he has a lot of damage infantry here, so I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna pepper it with mortars to kind of deny it healing and everything. So he has to push back into me now, and I retreat my some of my infantry out. These 4 squads are gonna survive, and everything here is damaged. So I need to wait for supply. He has like in theory, he has like a moment to push me back into here, but he has absolutely nothing. He has these 2 Malyutkas trying to provide cover here. Overkill a bit if this is already providing cover. And this conquers, but the T-55As are coming online. One of them is at 2 wet and one of them is at 1 wet, which is interesting. This Wachschützenführer is doing work on these 762s. I have to play a bit conservative, you know, right now. I mean, especially I can because I'm ticking +1 right now. Can always go back into this, can always, you know, switch the attention to this. He pushes the Outclair finally here, which my scimitar doesn't see because it's right exactly on the LOS breaker. You know, this map, maybe the guy that said, you know, you need to have a PhD in sightlines to play this map is not wrong, but I'm not gonna complain. I'm the one who chose this map. And as you can see, it's working out for me really well. Trying to target all these 80 gems that are chilling in these buildings, or any future push here. Basically clearing out his 80 gems is my #1 priority. Sadly, it misses. As I said, too far away. Should have moved it closer. Nothing happening here. He doesn't have much stopping me outside of these NSVs and all these 80 gems. But that's how the middle is played, you know. What can you do? A lot of infantry and tanks and everything be healed up. Just T-55s are coming online to try and, you know, pursue me from this hill. I'm gonna speed it up a tiny bit. Not much is happening. I keep bombing him, and I decided to, you know, probe his left side, and I see that there was absolutely nothing here. I mean, I thought there was gonna be a Moschutzenstrala or something like that, but not at all. So I'm like, there's basically nothing on the left side, so I'm just gonna very slowly start printing stuff outside of the middle to the left. I can also always just move the Marder and the Leopard 1 blob literally halfway across the map and contest this if it's ever needed. So some of my infantry and the Leopards are, you know, healed up, so I can start, you know, pushing back them into buildings. These Leopard 1A5 down just shooting these T-55s down the road, and these T-55s just don't see it, have no idea what is happening to them. It's also vetted up from the Jägerführer. Now that they're all on low cohesion from everything, they just keep dying. And the FS Jäger and the Leopard 185 just keep destroying these three T-55s. This Su-22, I'm not sure what it's trying to pick off. There's literally nothing on the map right now that is worth killing with these Su-22. I do have one card of Leopard 283s, but there was absolutely no need to buy it until now. And I'm completely fine with just playing the Leopard 1 game, but he gets one Leopard 1A1, 85 points, it's an Nighthawk, and it's on a fucking respawn timer for like the next 9 minutes. So, not really the best buy. Buy the Tornado basically because I was expecting like more air spam, but nothing else is coming. Buy another Nighthawk basically to just secure the skies. No need to risk it. I basically need to defend all game. Right now, that's the game, and you can blame me for it. I'm not microing this because I'm a fucking noob. You can blame me for it, but this is a competitive tournament, and all is fair in love and war. What can I say? Especially on the second game, you're gonna see I'm gonna cope a lot of the all is fair in love and war. MT-12 goes down. Basically, the instant time I spot it, there's like 203mm HE like coming down its fucking asshole, and there's not much he can do about it if MTLB isn't there to instantly, get it in if it misses. But it's basically a guaranteed one shot. Some infantry marchers and everything pushing up. You have this Outterror in a nice spot. Milan 2 is also in a nice spot. Another L39. I mean, thing with these L39s is they just die to the tornado, right? And it would die to the Nighthawk if the tornado didn't kill it. It got hit by the cube. Highly unfortunate. Anyway, these L39s basically need to be used like first tick. While all the AA isn't set up, you buy 3 of them, and then you just drop it on all the LM infantry or ATGMs or anything that's blocking your path. T55A, he's trying to trade me around here. I'm moving out this ATGM pretty well. A lot of infantry here, Wattschützen, KDA, Grenzer Flams and everything, but yeah, I try, to try and get back in a little bit, but it's not really working. This here is just a grind. His SPW command goes down to, I think, my Milan 2. I'm not sure. And there's a Murder 1E2 Milan, but because I didn't notice this Aufklärer, because I thought I had sight over this building with the scimitar, but nope, I don't, because it's an ILS breaker, so the Murder 1E2 Milan dies. I thought there was no one there. Highly unfortunate for me. So this here is just stalemate. He has a lot of infantry T-55s trying to push up, but there's not much he can do. Center also pretty stalemate-y. Need to, record my Leopard 1s. Everywhere I see an ATGM, there's a 203mm coming right for it. So it's basically like a game of staying and arting your opponent. This Dave doesn't get anything better than D20s. Not that they're bad. There's a M2W1, and now the game lags completely when it drops because it's like a 4,000 part. There's like 9,000 something bomb bullets being dropped, so the game lags considerably well. Because I know there's literally a bunch of infantry there. I just dropped the whole salvos, and it didn't do as much as I thought it would, but it definitely destroyed a lot of infantry and kind of stopped any push that he would want to do here. More and more stuff being bought on the left side. Never mind, not yet. More Murder 1E3s and more grinding here. I am gonna attack here though, Gepard, Siverti, Sultan and everything. This Bopa here is in a nice spot. Now I finally notice the Aufklärer that the Panzer Grenadier, starts firing at it. This NSV is also reaching it, rather interesting. Panzer Mercer just constantly, shooting at anything, any infantry that being seen there. Trying to try to probe this a tiny bit. Honestly, should have devoted a lot more attention to this little corner here, because bullying him out of these buildings is pretty important. But wanted to try a probe push here, and he kept feeding into it, so we can just play a tiny grind game here. So I'm finally starting to move a part of the blob that healed up from here to this part. And when I tried to move up my scimitar, because I thought there was nothing there, I noticed there's like a bunch of ATGMs. So when you notice that, there's like instantly, as I said, 203mm coming for your ass. So they're just fucking targeting everything there. A bunch of stuff coming, Gepard, CVRT Sultan, everything. This iHawk is gonna have to move to here. I don't move it. Pretty good for me. And he's, healing up here. I'm trying to heal up here, and the only way he can do anything is try to push me here. As I said, the advantage of he buys an RM70, but I don't think he ever used it. Anyway, as I said, the advantage of mechanist divisions over infantry divisions is that yeah, we are in this brawl here, and but I have a bunch of Marders and Leopards that I can just, move to the other side of the map. And you can't really move infantry to the other side of the map unless you have, a bunch of SPWs. But at the same time, SPWs aren't really as good as, Marders when it comes to, providing fire support. So there's that. He keeps constantly trying to ping and force my M110s to stop, but, never works. I fortified this flank here, so if he wants to push down here, I was just gonna hit him with fire from here. This scimitar is guarding the flank perfectly fine, and now that both ATGMs are dead, the AT gun is just a matter of time. So this Sultan is supposed to move up here. Bought a leopard to A3 because I thought I was gonna need to tank some ATGMs, but no, not yet, I guess. RM70 is targeting the Aufklärer in the building. And he's trying to do some really funny air spam stuff. MiG-21s and the Napalm one. The Napalm one has not only Napalm but HE. Useful to remember, this Marder 1E2 Milan pushed a bit too far. Not good, but as you can see, it's 10 minutes till the end of the game, and I'm 1k, I'm like 800 points up, and I'm gonna take another zone, so not really good for my opponent. So he buys another SU-22, and now the air wave is coming, and it's a pretty uncoordinated air wave because trying to do something here and then trying to do whatever here. This MiG-21 Napalm wants to bomb my M110s, but I just moved them. So nothing happens. One SU-22 AT dies. This is the same one, I think, at the start. Napalm dies, MiG-21 dies, a lot of shit dead on his side, and there's nothing to defend this here. This here is a complete stalemate, and this here is a complete stalemate. He tries to push up, but I have a bunch of Marders that I just need to position better, but I'm not really microing them because I'm microing this here. And that's about it for the game. I'm just gonna speed it up until the final 10 seconds. Nothing really happens. His push heal fails, and that's about it. I just outtraded my opponent completely. I don't know why he decided to pick Berliner at first pick. Could have picked a more stable division that I then would counterpick, but this was basically a part of my plan to have a counterpick on urban front lines. A div where I know where my and the map that my opponent probably doesn't like too much. As you can see, iHawk doing work. M110 just a remover of ATGMs, killed the cube as well. HE2, the kamikaze one that killed the cube, GOAT. And, basically Panzer Morse is doing a pretty decent job. Could have bought more of them, honestly. The other M110 not really doing that much, and, basically everything else is just standard stuff. So I'm gonna see you guys in the game 2 as well. See ya.